I'm surprised you didn't start with the biggest news.
What's
biggest
that?
news in Colorado since the 90s.
What's that?
We have a championship.
Oh,
team.
we're going to get to it shortly. We're trying to get Bill Tierney on the phone right now, the head coach. You tweeted out yesterday that you wished you were covering that game instead of whatever it was you were doing yesterday.
I was skiing yesterday.
That's right.
Traditional.
At A Basin. Right?
Yes. So, but I had a good
Why
time.
weren't you covering that? We didn't have a columnist in Philadelphia.
Those are decisions above my pay grade.
All right, we have Bill Tierney, the head coach of the DU Pioneers, the national champions in lacrosse for the first time ever. Bill, congratulations and welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on again.
Bill, does this one, your seventh, feel much different from the other six you won at Princeton?
It actually feels a lot like the first one, with all the kind of the rebuilding and the kind of getting, struggling to get there, and then finally getting it. With the kind of kids that we've had that I know were determined to do it this year, very similar to our the Princeton's '92 championship, which happened to be in Philadelphia as well.
Bill, that's what in regard to your feelings about it, but let's go beyond that. To actually have created a team in a part of the United States that goes to win the championship, it's like being it's like being a pioneer. How much does that really affect you and what you were able to accomplish here over the last several years?
Well, we certainly feel great about it. There's no denying that, and I think as I've said often, that when I took the job, when Peg hired me, it was we talked a lot about a twofold kind of success here. Number one, and most importantly, and still most importantly, is to have the University of Denver and its players and staff and everybody associated with it win a national championship. That was the first and foremost. But the other one was, what will the effect of that have on lacrosse in Colorado, lacrosse out west? And we've been working toward that goal. I think we've mirrored the growth of the game, and the growth of the game has mirrored us a bit. And now it's just widespread. And I think now the championship kind of puts a punctuation mark on the fact that it can be done.
Bill, Mark Kiszla here. This is what I want to know, is that your teams have been knocking on the door for a number of years. You went to the Final Four, the championship weekend, 3 out of the previous 4 years. What pushed this team over the top, you think?
I think two things jump out at me. Number one, the experience from not pushing over the top a few times, especially for these seniors. And then number two is our senior leadership, especially Wesley Berg. When your top guy steps up, during big games, and he's also the leader off the field. He's a leader on Saturday night. He goes to class. He does all the right things. He fights through injuries. When your top guy is doing all that, then it's easy for the other ones to follow. And so I think those two things, the fact that we persevered for a couple of years with this senior class, and the fact that we had a great senior class to, sometimes the young guys, they were tired. They thought they were tired, or they thought it was too much, or whatever, and the seniors just dragged them along for the ride, and eventually they caught on and helped us win this thing.
Bill, this is going to be your toughest question. What makes you special? Why? I mean, you have been maybe the greatest lacrosse coach in the history of colleges. What makes you so special? I've talked to Red Auerbach. I've talked to people who've been special in other sports, but I want to know. We'd all like to know why you were so good at what you do.
Well, first of all, it's nature, nurture, faith, and luck. I guess you are who you are. I'm certainly the result of two parents that were yin and yang. My dad was a beer truck driver who yelled and screamed at if you looked at him cross-eyed, and my mom was the healer. He'd tell you were punished for the rest of your life, and she'd tell you go out with your buddies that night. And so, I got a little of both of that in me, and that some of the people who don't like my style just see the first part, the yelling and screaming. Other people who get to know me see the fact that I have that second part as well. And then, look, I believe that, there's always someone greater than ourselves, and you were put on this earth to do something the best you could do it. And I think that's the way we try to go about our business. And then when you get to Final Fours and you get to ends of games where 18-year-olds are playing with balls and sticks and ground balls in front of 30,000 people, there's got to be a little luck involved too. But, from a standpoint of the program, I think one of the things, I was talking to Rebecca Chop, our chancellor, on our flight home last night, and he really believes in a lot of stuff that I do, that education has missed out on discipline. I think our kids, when they come to our program, expect discipline, they get discipline, but they also rely on discipline to make themselves stronger and better. So a lot of different things, surrounded by amazing people. I got an amazing staff, amazing assistant coaches, and just people around us, and a great stadium and a great facility. So there's just so many things that are involved with being successful in a spot like this.
I wish your dad had been my dad.
You mentioned education, Bill, and that's not just playing lip service to it, because you've won national championships with Princeton and University of Denver. If I look at the big three sports, the big three professional sports in the United States, baseball, football, basketball, the teams that are going to win, the schools that are going to win those national championships are probably big state schools like Texas and Alabama and Ohio State. Why does a small liberal arts school, or a relatively small liberal arts school, have a great chance in lacrosse?
Well, you kind of alluded to it. Number one, our kids are not, they know when they graduate, they are not getting $1 million contracts. If they go play for the Outlaws or the Mammoth or, one of the pro leagues, they know that they're playing, in quotes, pro lacrosse, and they have fun and they enjoy it, but they also have real jobs as well, and because they know that they're just not going to get rich off the game. So I think that puts a different kind of young man in our coffers. It's one that does value his education, understands when you tell him if he doesn't go to class, he's not playing that day or that week, and things like that. And they know that the end result, as much as it's nice to win national championships and Big East titles and all that other stuff, and believe me, it's very nice and it's very important, that ultimately if they win those things and don't go to class and don't get their degree, it's all for naught. So I think that's what makes lacrosse a little bit unique. But going back to your part about like Ohio State and Alabama and some of those, I also think that if you look at those programs that are successful, even at that level, there's still that leadership that comes with those programs, just being demanding a little bit more of their guys and making them a little bit more special.
Bill, you're 62. You just won your 7th title. You did it with your second school. There are a lot of people now who are worried that you might ride off into the sunset. You going to keep coaching, and for how long?
Well, I'm 63, so I just grew a year on you. But what we're talking about and hoping will come to fruition very soon is an extension. And my big concern at the University of Denver is not about Bill Tierney. It's about Matt Brown and making sure that the University of Denver understands that I wouldn't be successful here without my right-hand man here, Matt Brown, and I want him to be the next head coach at the University of Denver, and I know they do as well. We haven't set any time on this thing. God willing, we stay healthy, and I know I've always said that when I wake up in the morning, and stop enjoying going to work, that's when I know it's time to go, and that day has yet to even come close. So we're excited about the future here. We don't look at this as one championship. Okay, you're done. Move out of the neighborhood. It's all right. We're just getting started.
Well, Bill, congratulations. Great job, and we're thrilled that you and DU accomplished something never before done in the school's history. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you a lot more down the road. Thanks, Bill.
I hope so. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right, Bill Tierney, the head coach of DU, and hopefully for a long, long time.
See, I was thinking he might say to you that he was going to maybe go to Iowa, and then after that go to San Jose State, become the first college coach in history to coach championships in 4 different time zones.
There you go.
That would be something.
Wouldn't that be a great accomplishment?
And that portion of the big stuff brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports, your
guess it
source
wasn't a
for
big
the
deal.
original
I'm sorry.
motorcycle. Indian motorcycle, yeah, but it ain't going to happen. Check out the newest line of Indian motorcycles at Grand Prix Motorsports on County Line in Santa Fe, and you're taking a look at Scott, who is enjoying his
Scott.
time on his Indian motorcycle.
That's great, Scott.
That's a good-looking bike, huh?